honestly look at this for a moment. Like everything has been updated here a little bit to look a little better. My girlfriend spent an entire day kind of just getting things set and good. I think this turned out pretty good. I like the look of this. I think it's a good background. I think it's updated. I think it looks nice and suave and new. And I'm digging this. I think it'll work. Got my plaque in the center. Everything here got Master Chief, Cuphead, Dragon Ball Z twice, Ryu, Mega Man, Mortal Kombat, Spider-Man, Mass Effect still there. I think it works. I think this works for a good backdrop. I think this is going to work. I like it. Now if I can just get my camera angles normal for bordering for this, I think we got a winner. Hello everyone. Welcome to another Thursday, 5 o'clock. It's time for a gear talk. Now today, I'm getting another thing off my backlog of just like list of videos I've had in my mind. And we're talking about the Berserker today. For this video, you probably saw the title. You're probably wondering why we didn't use the Matriarch for what can kill a Berserker, pretty much. Easy answer for that one. The Matriarch has a lot more weakness shown compared to the Berserker. Even though the Matriarch is probably stronger and faster and smarter, the Berserker, by what we've kind of seen, has a better defense. So I'm kind of going to be using that as our main object in all of this for our testing ground. To better explain it, I'm going to try and take this video and take every single gun, or at least the majority, and test them all out on a Berserker, and we're going to see what works. Now, there's a lot of them listed here, and I don't really have the time to go into detail to each one. I could, but some of them are going to be the same result. The majority will be the same result. So we're kind of just going to go through and explain what we can, and kind of like what could and what couldn't, what scenario could work. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's start off this big old list. I've got some handguns to start us off. Starting us off, we got the Snub Pistol. Now, I don't need to explain a single damn thing about this one. The Snub's not going to do anything. And you'll realize that answer will be a few of these weapons coming up. But no, the Snub will not do a single thing to a Berserker, period. A lot of the weapons, too, we're going to see, I don't think the Berserker really registers that they've been hit by anything. Like, she's not going to recognize that she's hit by a Snub. Like, unless she were to get hit in, like, I don't know, the eye, which I'm guessing her eyelids probably have plating, she's not going to recognize anything's happening. The Blowtorch, probably some more strength, but I don't think the Blowtorch is going to do a single thing either to her. We have the Gorgon Pistol, my personal favorite pistol in the entire game. The Gorgon Pistol is not going to do a single thing. And we also have the Talon Pistol, which probably isn't going to do a single thing either. A lot of the handguns, all of the handguns, will not do a single thing to harm the Berserker, period. I think it won't even register half. Maybe the Blowtorch, it'll like feel something and be like, what was that? Maybe she'll be like, okay, something's going on here. But as for all of them, nothing's really going on. A mosquito bite would be the best you would get with the Blowtorch pistol. I do have grenades up next now too. We've got, starting off, the normal old tried and true Bolo Grenade we have. It's not going to do anything. She will know that a grenade has gone off. She will know that. Like, they can work around with sound and everything, and you could say, well, they can tell that a gun's being shot at them by just the sound. But like we saw with some encounters with her, when she's got 4 people running around, she's going to hear the guns going off. But if there's multiple going off, she's probably not going to feel which ones are hitting her. She'll just hear it happened. The Bolo, she is going to hear. And she will probably have a reflex to it or a feeling that something's going on. Like, there's an explosion that just went off by your feet. You're going to understand something's going on. Next up, okay, the first one we have that actually possibly could do something, the Incendiary Grenade. Now, the rule I wanted to put in this is, like, do all these weapons have, like, infinite ammo or infinite things you can use? And I decided no. I think the fairest way to put this up would be, like, the max you can have. And obviously, like, a grenade doesn't come with, like, oh, I used one part of the grenade, I can use the rest. A grenade's a grenade. So I would say, I was debating whether or not to even let them use multiple grenades, and I kind of said no. So a single Incendiary Grenade, this is going to harm them. This is going to harm a Berserker. She is going to feel it. She is going to understand pain is happening, and she is going to get mad. When the armor plating on a Berserker is heated, it does become softer, and you are able to harm a Berserker. We do learn, however, that fire itself does damage them. This isn't a situation of just, I'm now vulnerable. No, they are harmed while becoming vulnerable. So if you have something that is very heated, it is going to harm her. So an Incendiary Grenade is going to harm her. She is going to have a mini freak out pretty much, but it's not going to kill her. She is going to probably come back from this and just be like, okay, all right, who the hell threw that? That's pretty much how it's going to go for a Berserker. So while we do have the first weapon that's going to actually harm a Berserker, it's not going to kill her. This weapon is not able to actually kill a Berserker. Next up, we have the Ink Grenade. For all of you that don't know, some of this is Krill Grenade, Ink Grenade. Depending on what time of the timeline you're on, the Ink Grenade can summon Krill in the beginning, and when you get further on in the story, the Krill are gone, so it's just an Ink Grenade. It just works as like, kind of like a poison. Not even a poison, but just like, it damages you while you're in the cloud. So, okay. This is interesting, because internally a Berserker can be harmed. Externally, not so much. So, the Ink Grenade could probably cause damage. It would harm her, but not to the extent of an Incendiary Grenade. She'd probably go walking through it, get a breath in, and be like, okay, something's wrong here. Let's get out of this area. It's not going to do enough damage that's going to, like, give her a major reaction, but she's going to understand that she is being damaged. So, I guess that makes technically two weapons that could harm a Berserker. Next up, also after that, shock grenades. Okay, this one's really interesting, and I'm going to be getting into this one too when we get to another weapon coming up. Okay, so a shock grenade. I believe we have seen that a Berserker can just walk through. I believe it does somewhat slow them, but if we go by electricity, it's definitely not going to kill him. It will not. If it can kill a human being in the game, it's not going to kill a Berserker. I do believe that it is going to have a reaction from the Berserker. She is going to register that she's been hit with something, but I don't believe it's going to do anything to bring her down or cause any pain. It might cause some tingling, maybe, but that's about the best I can think of for the shock grenade. And that's pretty much all the grenades. Like, only like 2 of them are going to do damage, and 1 of them is just going to have a reaction. 3 of them will have a reaction, but 1 will only have a reaction. Alrighty, going on to the bigger weapons we got. We start off with some of the assault rifles, and also like machine guns, light machine guns, just all the bigger things. I mean, there's melee weapons on this list too. We're going to go through a lot of things. So, starting off, we do have the Lancer. So, as you can see, I got a Mark II Lancer here. We'll start with the Mark I first. Mark I's not going to do jack diddly at all. It does have a higher... Its velocity and everything is higher. It's the rounds come out faster, but they are also a lot more sporadic. But that's not going to do anything. We've seen, and I'm pretty much going to cover all 3 of them right now, I guess, for Mark 1, 2, and 3. We've already seen that the bullets in general coming from this thing are not fast enough or strong enough. She's not going to register one from the other. It's just not going to happen. So you're not going to have any luck with any of the Lancers. You also have the GL Lancer. So this is also, let me put you back down here. Okay, not falling. Good. The GL Lancer, which is a Mark III Lancer with a grenade launcher attached to it. I guess we'll go over this now, because we're going to have other explosive weapons. I can just cover this now quick. The GL Lancer, or anything explosive in general, isn't going to do anything. Now, I understand, like, with an explosion, with, like, the core impact area, there's a heat. The heat's going off there, and you would think the heat would cause damage to the Berserker. As far as we can tell, there aren't a lot of weapons that have a high enough explosion to it that is actually going to register with a Berserker. Or, like, register's not the right word. A damage, because they are going to register at one point they're hurt. For instance, the GL Lancer, when it goes off and you just have a hail of pretty much explosives, I don't think it's going to do anything. I'm sorry, but, like, once they hit, they're going to probably look around and be like, that all you got? And then probably just continue. Like, it hasn't been shown yet that the GL is the end-all, be-all of, like, no, this will kill anything. This is our biggest, like, deadliest thing we can have for a Lancer. Use this. It's just not a thing. I don't see it. Like, she'll understand, like, explosions. But I think that's about it. I think the highest chance you have of anything is damaging its eardrums. That's, like, the highest I can think you can do. Now, granted, that would be a scary sight. Blind and deaf, that would be terrifying. But I think that's all you're going to do with the GL. Going on from there, and I'll try and make this as easy as I can, the Hammer Burst, 1 or 2, whichever Hammer Burst you use, ain't going to do anything against it. You have the Long Shot, which will have a better chance than the other two. I believe if you hit a headshot on the Berserker with this sniper rifle, it's going to rock it for a moment. It's going to realize it's hit and like, oh my god, who did that? Pretty much. Like, I don't see the Long Shot killing it. You have the Gnasher. The Gnasher's not going to do anything. I'm sorry, the Gnasher won't. I love the Gnasher, but it won't do a thing. You've got the Boom Shot. Again, like, the Boom Shot is it's an explosive weapon, but it won't do anything. Like, the moment it hits, it'll just, like, brush off the smoke in front of it and be like, okay, who did it? It won't do anything. The Torque Bow. This one's different. Now, like I said earlier, Berserkers can be harmed internally. That's a thing that has kind of been proven. So you have to ask yourself, the Torque Bow. Okay, the Torque Bow works with once it's fired off, it's like an arrow, it'll pierce you and then explode. That's how it works. So you have to ask yourself, is the Torque Bow strong enough to pierce a Berserker? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. It can't do it. I can't even see a way it could do it. But there is a few areas of the Berserker that it'll actually work. And what I can go off for that one is the joints. Now, for anyone who's seen Fire Force, great anime. Watch that. It's great. It can get a little convoluted with the Evangelist, but it's not bad. There's an enemy they fight at one point. I think this is like season 2, where he's like a Berserker. His entire body is just boom. You can't penetrate me. Nothing can go through me. I'm like solid. But when he moves, the thing they come to the realization is that you can be hurt. Yeah, while your body is completely like stone, when you move, the parts that aren't moving are still stone, but your joints, your legs, those are like, we're able to pierce that. We're able to damage them because you have to be able to move them so they can't be solid. That's essentially the Berserker also. If you were to get a Torque Bow shot, let's say right into for the elbow, the internal crease portion, you possibly could pierce it. And if that thing blows up, you could honestly have this thing lose an arm, or at least like the armor plating that's holding it on like probably these two ends would like be the only thing holding it, and it would just be like this. In theory, a Torque Bow could definitely do major catastrophic damage to the Berserker while it's still plated and it's not soft. You could argue, too, if you got one in the eye and it exploded, you could just scramble its brains. I'm kind of going to leave eyes off of this one, except for a few cases, because you would have to be a pinpoint shot with the Torque Bow, and for all the characters that are gears, because I don't see many Locusts fighting this thing, for everyone who's a gear, I do not know of a single gear who is exceptionally trained at the Torque Bow. I know there is someone that was a part of Bernie's squad in the South Islands that was pretty trained with a Torque Bow, but not to the accuracy that it would take to hit an eye shot on a Berserker mid-rampage. I don't know of anyone who can do it. So I'm kind of going to leave that off the list. So the Torque Bow, in my mind, could do damage. It could harm one. Very majorly harm one. It could take off a limb. But I don't see the Torque Bow killing a Berserker. By the time you got another Torque Bow shot loaded up and you're aiming, I think this thing is going to start murdering. It's going to get angrier and kill. Going on from the Torque Bow, the Scorcher! Ah, yes, the Scorcher. We all know the Scorcher. The flamethrower of the game. So, okay, the Scorcher, in my mind, since we're not going infinite ammo rules, this would probably do as much damage as the Torque Bow could, just by cooking this thing. You could cook the damn thing with this Scorcher. The problem is, unless you have infinite ammo with the Scorcher, I don't believe you're going to kill this thing. You're going to pretty much cook its outsides to a crisp, probably turn its eyes into jelly by cooking them and making them blow up, but it's already blind. This thing is going to come through and start swinging randomly while it's on fire. The Scorcher itself cannot kill a Berserker unless you had like literally infinite ammo and you spent like 30 minutes cooking it. The Scorcher also is on the same level as Torque Bow for right now. So moving on from that one, The Hammer of Dawn. Okay, I don't need to explain this one. It has already been stated in the game. This is like the main go-to. It's spoken about when Berserkers come up into play. The Hammer of Dawn is able to kill a Berserker, and it can kill it very effectively. The same as the Scorcher, it's going to cook it. But this is also a gun that you fire off that links up to a satellite in space that shoots down a goddamn city-destroying laser that targets in on this one individual and just fries it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. The Hammer of Dawn works. The Hammer of Dawn will kill a Berserker. This is the first gun on this list I have so far that can effectively and guaranteeing, I have no argument, can kill a Berserker. Next up, I have the Boom Shield. The Boom Shield, not going to do a single thing. I don't have any hope or prayer that the Boom Shield is going to harm a Berserker. It will keep you alive. If you put this in front of a Berserker and it swatted you, I mean, the shield would go with you, but, I mean, you're not taking the brunt of the force. So, I mean, as long as you're holding on for dear life behind it, and you're able to hold on while it goes flying, you technically didn't take that damage. As long as you're not flying into anything and like it hits an odd angle where it like cuts you in half or pins you to a wall, technically you'd live. This would make great defense, I guess, but on its own, it's not going to do anything. The Butcher's Cleaver is still not going to do nothing. Nothing can pierce the hide of a Berserker. Butcher's Cleaver won't. And I have another melee weapon coming up we're going to talk about, but we'll save it. We'll save the rest of that conversation involving the Cleaver for that one. So moving on. Well, the Digger. We all know the Digger. Some people don't. Some people really just overlook the Digger the Digger all the time. Again, I don't think it's going to do anything. The explosive it can set off is still just not. It doesn't have any ability. Even the creature in it wouldn't do anything. The Digger, I don't believe can do jack diddly. Sawed-off shotgun, still nothing. Same as the Gnasher. It's going to register it's been hit. Like the Gnasher, depending on how close you are, it'll register. The sawed-off, it's not going to cause pain, but it's going to understand something's there. The mortar, okay. Mortar, I don't think will do anything. I don't believe the mortars were incendiary. I think they were just explosive. So, the mortar, I don't think it's going to do anything. It might pack a little more punch. I know the mortars are pretty strong in Gears, so I don't think mortar's going to do jack. I don't think it will. Going on. The Mulcher. It's not going to do anything. Mulcher won't. Any weapon, any mounted machine gun won't do anything. Any chain gun will not do anything, except for one gun we'll come across. Maybe that one can. Mulcher won't do it. It'll register the bullets are coming. It might throw a hand in the way to get just swat at the bullets like flies. Won't do nothing. The one shot. Okay. I was waiting for the one shot. Okay, let's talk about the one shot, because I have a weapon coming up that kind of ties into the one shot. So, for the trailer for for Horde in 3, it is shown that a one shot was used on a Berserker, and it bounced off. So, here's the thing. We have to go by canon of the story. And by canon of the story, Horde, multiplayer, escape, technically those are not, like, canonical. So, they have canon elements, but they also bring up their own elements. So, the one-shot. The one-shot is a big-ass SOBN. It's a giant, you mount on sniper rifle, pretty much, that shoots one shot. Now, it's strong. It's extremely strong. But people need to understand, too, like, it's not a normal bullet being shot from this thing. It's not just a normal slug. It's not. The main width of this thing without its shell is, like, like that. So, it does have speed. It has power. But understand that power is being used to shoot this big-ass thing first. So, it can vaporize an enemy. We've seen it. It just turns them into a bloody mist. That is canon. That is a thing. But a lot of it's because like it's such a big thing hitting them too at the speed of like a normal bullet. That's what you need to remember. It might have more power being shot off, but that power is used to make this thing fly as fast as a normal bullet. So it's gonna rock a Berserker. Like that trailer, like obviously was just multiplayer, but in actual canon, if this thing were to hit a Berserker head on like it did in the trailer, it is not going to pierce the Berserker, I don't believe. I don't believe so. It's going to bounce off too. But this Berserker is going to be so goddamn rocked. Like, if it were a headshot from this thing on Berserker, it would get hit. Just, I have no doubt, concussion. No doubt, you're giving the Berserker a concussion. Straight up. This thing's brain is going to literally vibrate at the speed of the goddamn Flash when he goes through a wall. It's going to hurt a lot. This Berserker is going to be very much in a vulnerable state for quite a few moments. But no, unfortunately, I do not see the one-shot killing a Berserker. Again, if this thing, because you can get it pretty precise. The one-shot's pretty precise, but I don't think precise enough to actually, like hit a moving target's joint. If you're a pretty trained individual, maybe. Like, if Bernie got a hold of this thing and she had practice, maybe. But it's not going to kill a Berserker. You are definitely taking a limb off if you can make that shot. Just like the Torque Bow, but unfortunately, no, I do not believe that the one-shot is going to do it. Another melee weapon we have, the Thumper. For those who don't know what the Thumper is, the Thumper was used by the Mauler that was pretty much running around with the giant hammer. That's the Thumper. The Thumper is not going to do anything. Again, I'll talk about melee weapons when we get to the melee weapon I want to talk about that could possibly do something. But for now, we'll leave it at, in the hands of a normal individual, the Thumper is not going to do anything. I don't have any hopes for the Thumper. Next up, the Vulcan. Okay, I was waiting for the Vulcan. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. I love the Vulcan. All right, the Vulcan minigun. Now, this weapon is carried by one individual. It's a giant one that you can barely slug around. And you have to have a second individual carry around the ammo belt that goes with. So it's technically a two-person weapon. Now, in order to do this weapon correctly, you have to have both people. And this thing fires off so quickly. It literally, when you shoot it, the screen when you see this, it's shooting out so fast you can't even keep track with where the bullets are going. It's so fast. You can barely see. This thing is death incarnate. The fastest shooting weapon we have in the game. And I'm not going to lie. The power this thing holds, it's not going to kill a Berserker. It won't. But if a Berserker, let's say a Berserker straight up was going like Senator Armstrong style and just stood there and was taking it, you'd be firing into this, just standing here, I realize. It's going to be like that. But this thing's going to push a Berserker back. I could see like, just being shot back. It's going to feel it. I'm sorry, I'm overhyping the Vulcan, but this thing is so goddamn powerful. I really do think like this would be something like that could easily match like a Berserker's armor. Of just like, there's a lot of it. And we're not going infinite ammo rules, but this thing has so much ammo. Essentially, it could wear down a warm spot where the area it's hitting. So, I mean, it could possibly make him vulnerable. Her vulnerable, sorry. All Berserkers are female, don't know why I'm forgetting that. But Vulcan, let's put a pin in that and see what we could do if we actually were able to test this. For this next weapon, when I made this list, I was picking weapons that, the majority I could pick, and weapons that actually cause damage. So, I mean, technically it causes damage, and I technically can put it on the list, so I did. The Blowtorch. Every engineer's favorite weapon. Okay, so the Blowtorch. Theoretically, if you had a big enough fuel canister on the thing, I mean, maybe. Okay, when I say maybe, it's very, very technical, but like, let's say the Berserker was like restrained and you just sat there on its head, just maybe you could cook it. Maybe. This weapon will not do anything though. In a normal fight, you will die. You will die before you even pull the trigger on this thing and even get a single flame out. The Blowtorch, I mean, has the technical capacity to do it, but other than that, no, the Blowtorch won't do anything. Next up, the Markza. Okay, Markza won't do anything either. I'm sorry. This is like the long shot. It's going to get a few hits in. I feel like this one will be like the Boltok. It'll register like a mosquito bite. So the Markza, it'll do a little bit of damage. It's not going to hurt her though. Nothing. Next up, the Bushka. Alright, so the Bushka. Same thing pretty much that goes on with the boom shot. It's not going to do anything. You could shoot it off. It's not going to register. It'll register something exploded, but it won't register it's hurt. The breach shot. Okay, breach shot next up. Honestly, a little stronger than the Markza probably. And you can use it as a melee weapon too. But no, it won't do a single thing. The breach shot, just as bad. Okay, the Buzzkill. Here we go. Okay, the Buzzkill. It's going to be a no. But again, it's one of those things, if you can hit it in the joint. See, I have to ask myself, is the Buzzkill blades, are they made of osmium? If they're made of osmium, you might be able to slice a limb off if you get them in the joint. Same for the leg. But no, I think those blades are going to bounce off pretty easily. Okay, next up, the drop shot. Again, an explosive. If you could pierce it with this, then yes, but with the angle the drop shot is shot, you're not going to pierce the Berserker. There's nothing up here that's going to get pierced. All right. Going from there. Okay. We're getting to a few more weapons that are, once we get into like Gears 4 and Gears 5 territory, these weapons have kind of a better shot. The M-Bar. Okay. I had to do actual research on railguns for this. So, okay. The M-Bar is a railgun, and the M-Bar is technically a sniper rifle. I mean, technically. Okay, how do we explain it? Railguns fire wickedly fast, like extremely fast. This gun, the M-Bar, like a lot of people sleep on it. This is a very fast weapon. It is going to be faster than the Vulcan. The Vulcan's firing off a lot more per second, though, so don't worry. But the M-Bar, 2,500 miles per second a railgun can shoot off. That is almost a little bit less than double what a high-powered sniper rifle can shoot. So, understand, this thing's shooting Mach 7. That's wickedly fast. So, okay. If an M-Bar were to hit a Berserker, let's say just chest, we're going to go Armstrong on it. Could it pierce it? Could an M-Bar honestly pierce a Berserker? And this might cause a bit of controversy saying it. I think an M-Bar could pierce a Berserker. I know a lot of people aren't happy to hear that, but really think about it. Mach 7. This thing is going Mach 7. And we have seen that enough concussive damage can kill a Berserker. Like when they get flung off a train, that technically can kill them. Or if not kill them, it does damage them. I'm sorry, like with what I researched for railguns and everything, and with the M-Bar, I truly believe the M-Bar could probably pierce it. I don't know about killing. You would have to get a pretty good headshot. These things do not come with scopes. I'm sorry. A well-placed shot with a headshot. I think the M-Bar could kill a Berserker. I'm sorry. I think it's got a good shot. I think it's got, like, if it's using railgun technology like it says it does, I think, honestly, it could kill a Berserker. A Mach 7 bullet going to your head, I think it's going to do it. So, moving on from that one, sorry for everyone I just caused arguments with. The Enforcer. Enforcer won't do a damn thing. Period. It won't. The shock portion of the Enforcer, though, that's interesting. Because, again, a well-placed shot with an electrical shot into, like, the arm or something, or a soft area, it would have a reaction. It would probably, like, the Berserker's strong enough where, like, if it were to start getting shocked, I don't know how science works for this, so I'll just make up my own for this one. Maybe just, like, it can still move its limbs pretty well, but slower. I know humans, they can just stop you, or, like, you have to fight it. Maybe a Berserker just, I'm still good to go, boys. Maybe. I think you'd have a lot better chance with a shock Enforcer than a normal Enforcer when it comes to a Berserker. Next up, we have the Overkill. Okay, the Overkill is interesting because it is a shotgun. It is stated that it does have shells. It does shoot off. There's an actual projectile that comes out. But we also see it's not just a projectile. It has something to do also with air pressure and sound. Here's the thing. If you're able to hit a Berserker with this thing, what would happen, like, a high vibration on the inside that can affect the innards? Like, the outside gets hit, but it's just like, like, it just shakes the inside. I don't think an Overkill would kill a Berserker, but I'd like to see what would happen if it got hit by one. I would be very interested to see the results and what the aspect of, like, the Overkill's round would do into it. Next up, I have the Salvo rocket launcher. Okay, this will not do anything either. It can cause high damage. These are some pretty hefty rockets being fired out. For this one, compared to the other ones, I could see it actually, like, irritating a Berserker pretty badly. I could see it actually sitting there like, this shit is pissing me off. That I could see. Not enough rounds, not enough rockets that could do anything, though. I truly believe it just wouldn't do it. Okay, the Tri-Shot, my favorite of the heavier weapons. Tri-Shot won't do anything. It's a lot more accurate. So if you were trying to hit those soft spots, Trash shall be your better bet over the Mulcher. Yeah, it won't do anything. Okay. Here we go. The last three. We'll start with the one I know the answer to, and we'll go into the more technical ones next. The Claw. Okay, so when it comes to the Claw LMG, won't do anything. This one is going to hit a little harder, but it's not. It's a light machine gun, but it's not going to do anything. Like, it's going to bounce off again. The reload is horrible on them, so I mean, honestly, you're going to have a better chance just trying anything else. The Claw is better than handguns and a lot of other weapons, but there's a lot better options to even try and get the thing's attention. The Breaker Mace. Okay, another controversial one. This is what I wanted to talk with melee weapons. So, the Breaker Mace, by lore, is using the Emulsion Crystals. The Emulsion Crystals cannot be destroyed. They've tried. Nothing really destroys them. I think we've seen now and then, like, there are things that could. Like, the Hammer of Dawn most certainly probably could. But, okay, we have to go into what-if territory for the Breaker Mace because the melee weapons that are used are only as strong as the people swinging them. Like, the Butcher's Cleaver, the Thumper, they're not really going to do anything. But answer me this. Okay. Give it to Rom, or even Srock. Give it to either of those two Locusts. Like, heavily powerful. Give it to Srock. Give it to him. He's the strongest Locust we've ever seen. Give him a Thumper, okay? Hand it into him, and let's say he gets close enough to a Berserker, he's able to bring that thing down. All of his strength, Srock's highest powered swing he will ever do, into the head of a Berserker. What's going to happen? Is he going to harm it? Is he going to kill it? Probably not. Is it going to phase the Berserker? Here's what we got to understand. A melee weapon, like I said, strong as the user. If a Breaker Mace is used, these crystals, as powerful as they say, as strong and durable, comes down on the head of a Berserker by Srock, would it pierce the Berserker? I want to say yes. I think Rom with that power. I don't think Kate's going to do it. I don't think JD. I don't think anyone's going to. I don't think Cole. If Ty were alive, he wouldn't do it. In the hands of a very powerful Locust, I think it would work. And I'm going by the weapons, not the people firing or using them. So if we have to go by weapons, if we have to go by things that have the possibility of killing a Berserker, another gutsy call, I fully believe the Breaker Mace from Gears 5 is going to kill a Berserker. I think this thing clubs it right in the head, full force from a very powerful enemy. Let's say even a Warden. Let's say a Warden's got this thing and two-hands it. Goes Sacred Kenpachi style and two-hands his weapon and just swings it. I think, honestly, this is going to do some significant damage that could kill a Berserker. I'm putting my money on it. I really am going to put my money on the Breaker Mace could probably kill a Berserker. And finishing this out, the Cryo Cannon. Okay, Cryo Cannon's interesting because we don't really know what the Cryo Cannon would do to a Berserker. We know what it does to a Matriarch. It will freeze a Matriarch. But here's something you need to remember too. The Matriarch was the original Berserker. We have seen that the ability the Locusts have, their X factor, is they're able to adapt and evolve through warfare, or just in general evolve to never die. Here's a question for you. When the Berserkers came to be, the ones we know now, did they go through that evolution? It doesn't have to be a major one like going through cocoons and arriving 25 years later. There can be minor adaptations that can be made. Are they affected by frost? We've never seen it. That's hard. It's really hard to say. Because the Berserkers, they're fully armored. The Matriarch is not 100% armored. I'm going to say no. I don't think so. And again, the Cryo Can doesn't even kill the Matriarch. It just stops her. But if you did, let's say hypothetically for this one time, infinite ammo. No. Like, would you be able to stop them? Like, we've seen the Cryo Cannon can freeze a person to pure ice. Like, in and out, you are ice. Only ice. I think their hide is too thick to actually be frozen through all the way. Because, again, you have the Scorcher. It's softening them. Yeah, it's cooking them up a bit, but it's softening. And we know that fire, in general, is the pure form of destruction in the world. It destroys. That's what fire does. I think the Berserker's fine. I don't think the Cryo Cannon could do it. I don't think so. So, that's every weapon I have listed. Like, I went through a long list. I went through a big list. So, there are a few weapons that could do some damage, could definitely rock a Berserker, but there's only like 3 weapons, I believe, that actually have the ability to straight up down a Berserker and kill her. I mean, you got the Hammer of Dawn, which has been canonically proven, it just does it. You have the M-Bar, which with the speed it's able to fire off a round, I think the M-Bar could definitely pierce and kill. And then you have the Breaker Mace, which in the hands of a strong enough wielder, I think could easily pierce and kill a Berserker. So, yeah, out of like, I'd say 30 to 40 weapons I listed off, 3. We have 3 weapons that could do it. So, don't come across a Berserker. They will kill you. And you have no chance of living. That'll do it. This was one that's just been sitting in the back burner. I just want to get some of these listed off and done. I know I said the end of the year I would jump into a new discussion series, but I kind of want to prolong it maybe. I don't know yet. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like midwinter. Maybe the beginning of spring next year. I'm not sure. The Hive Busters took a long time to get through, and I had a lot of breaks in between a lot of it. But I mean, like, I do want to get some of these other just videos done. Like, if Gear 6 was announced, I'd love to talk about Gear 6 instead of, well, I'm in the middle of doing, I don't know, the Swarm discussion series about Swarmax. Like, I got to make that video, so no, I can't really, talk about Gear 6. I don't know. Like, I want some time to just do some free thought and just get things off my list. That's what I want to do. So, I'm going to do that for a little bit. We'll talk about some fun, interesting topics. And then, after I get a few things I want to talk about done, then we'll head into another discussion series, which they're still fun, but they take up a lot of time just to get all of it done. So, thank you guys for watching. This video went on long. I say it in every video. I literally watched one of my videos yesterday. I said the same thing at the end. So, I thought it would be a 20-minute video. We're pushing further. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you everyone for making it possible. And thank the patrons for making things possible. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of it. I appreciate it all. I will see you guys in the next Gear Talk. Yeah, that's all I got. Don't run into a Berserker. That's the point to take away from all of this. Later!